Hello, welcome to today's Reasonably Effective podcast. Today, we have a very special guest in Alloutblitzle, a top-tier online Pokemon TCG player whose name you should know, and if not, certainly get to know him. This is the first time we've had a guest, a third person on the podcast, and unfortunately that led to some technical issues with the audio quality. I will say about the 15-minute mark, we did make some substantial improvements to how we were recording it. So if it's too bothersome, skip ahead to the 15-minute mark. But Alloutblitzle does have some good things to say, and it certainly is worth your time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reasonably Effective podcast. I am joined by Uncommon Fossil.
Hello, and this is episode 209 for those that are keeping score at home, which I'm sure you all are. And if it doesn't make sense how it's 209, I don't know that I can explain it either.
Yeah, and we're not just joined by each other, but we have a special guest, Alloutblitzle. Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone listening?
Hi, I'm Alloutblitzle. I've been making YouTube videos for about a year. I play online tournaments. I play goofy decks.
Snorlax. And you play on online tournaments a lot. So, do you have any advice to people listening as well?
Just play. Like I was like one of the first people to play on Limitless back in 2020. I was really bad. I just played every night, and I eventually got better.
So just get good. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then this past week, or was it actually this past week? Pocket.
Oh, the time of recording was this past week with the Pokemon Presents at the Pokemon Day, I guess is what it is.
And so a new app called Pokemon TCG Pocket was revealed. So Alloutblitzle, what are your thoughts on that? Or I guess first of all, we'll explain it. It's a mobile app, I believe exclusively a mobile app. You can get Pokemon cards in packs and play a limited version of the game, or simplified.
Yeah, and based on what they said, there's a lot of immersive graphics, like the 3D effects and all. Some people have described it as a collector's game that you can play. I'm not sure Pokemon's intent there. We're collected versus playing. I think you get 2 free packs a day, which, while they don't say it directly, implies that then you can pay for more packs. I imagine that's their game plan.
Yeah, they said that there'd be some sort of way to put money into it.
Okay. Did they say that in the presents, or was that
I think that was after the fact.
Okay, I just mostly knew about the presents. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's they're really belated attempts to compete with Duel Links, but it's just a super collector more beginner focused thing. It doesn't really appeal to the people who actually really know how to play Pokemon. It gets people who just want to see that they can open a pack every day, and that sounds fun for them. Maybe that gets them to start playing a really dumbed down version of Pokemon. Eventually, gets them to start playing the actual game. I don't ever see it being a bad thing. I saw some people saying how it was gonna take funding away from live and make live necessarily worse, but I don't really see it that way. I think it just could get new people into the game, and that's not bad.
Yeah, I feel like that's the goal. It's to bring, as you said, collectors or people who are kind of interested in collecting into the playing it simply. And so obviously then the next step, there are a few next steps from there. You could play in person, but obviously if you're not near in-person events or whatever, then you'd probably shift to Pokemon TCG Live. So you obviously play a lot of Pokemon TCG Live. I want to hear your thoughts on it. I think I know what you're going to say, but
my thoughts on Live?
Yeah.
I it. Of course, it has its flaws. Overall, it's hard to say because it really isn't that much of a step up at all to TCGO, and that was kind of the promise that it was going to be better. But I feel a lot of the hate is overblown. But it's fine. It's good enough. But
yeah, obviously you play it
more than that.
Yeah, you play it a lot. So, and I play it some. I mean, we all play it a lot. And in some sense, we're talking about YouTube today. That's our main topic. And a lot of YouTubers, some YouTubers play on Live. I think do most.
For game replay,
Much.
Yeah. I'm now.
In one way or another.
Yeah, I know, because Andrew Mahone, Tricky Jim, he was like not doing that for a while, and he kind of, because some people do tabletop footage, but that's also harder to do, and I think it's not as nice to watch. I mean, there are some
Yeah, I
advantages,
agree.
but
Yeah, it's nice and simple to follow along the digital game. I think watching IRL, even like watching a tournament on the stream, which I do sometimes, get the glare and the reflection. They've put a lot of time getting it set up, and it's not as easy as watching a game in live just to follow easily. One of the things with the YouTubers, big YouTubers in the Pokemon are IRL players, right? Big name IRL players. That's kind of the starting place for a lot of it, which therefore I think means IRL focus, which also means they don't like digital clients necessarily is a general outlook on I think a lot of the big name people.
yeah, and also PCGO was probably better than live. I mean, I could see an argument either way, but
Yeah.
and PCGO wasn't like amazing. And people, as you said, it was like live was supposed to improve upon PCGO, and in some ways it did, but in some ways it definitely didn't. Um, Actually, did you like PCGO or do you like Pokemon TCG Live more?
Well, I hated having to like trade for cards the first day. Like that was the worst. Like
Yeah,
if you
that's
wanted
pretty
to build
bad.
the new stuff, like that was
Mhm.
like I remember like trading like 50 packs for Radiant Eternatus after that came out because I wanted to have day one content on that. Um, Glad that's gone, but that's literally about it.
Yeah, yeah, and luckily, don't worry, they're bringing trading back. So
In, in pocket, yeah. Yeah, I mean the economy, and I'm a budget player, so you couldn't get the new cards the way that was when they like an Arceus dropped or something. You couldn't get it till the following expansion came out with that
Yeah.
in-game economy. So the new economy is much better. And the battle log actually is I think the first time they added something to live that's actually I think better than PTCGO, which has taken a long time.
Yep.
oh, with the battle log, because you play in a lot of online tournaments, have you ever had to use the battle log in a tournament to like for like a ruling dispute or something like that? Or not yet?
I haven't, but it hasn't been out that long yet, so I'm sure it'll come up eventually.
Yeah, it seems useful for. Have you like had a situation where you think that could have been useful? I mean, it's mostly there for like glitches and stuff.
Yeah, well, I had like the other day, I was like facing a deck and they played like Arizu, and I couldn't, the game wouldn't show me what evolutions they grabbed, so it's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
cool
Right.
error.
Was it
But
on the battle
it's,
log?
no, it was backwards cards on there too.
Oh, that's
But
unfortunate.
it's nice in theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's a very obviously a big first step. So it needs to get ironed out,
Yeah.
but I'm very glad to have
Yep.
it. It is funny though with the battle log, you actually it shows you things before they happen in the log. So like it shows
Oh,
you
really?
well, it shows. I think it doesn't impact the game, but it shows before my opponent attacks. Sometimes I think what I'm drawing for my turn.
Yeah. I mean, it shows as soon as they like click the button, it shows you the next thing. Because there's like animations, and the animation, like for attacking, obviously is kind of long.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. That's just doesn't matter.
But anyway, so you as a YouTuber, why did you decide to? Well, first of all, would you say like you're a YouTuber?
Sure.
Very, very confident there. So why did you decide to become one?
Well, like I played Pokemon cards since 2015. Like I've been around the game for forever, and it's just like if I'm gonna do this stuff anyway, then like why not at least record it? Like it's a little more extra effort, like editing, making it like a presentable product. But like I'm gonna play limitless tournaments anyway. I'm gonna make dumb decks anyway, so like I can share my dumb decks with other people. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, what's your like what do you think people like to watch on YouTube? Like in terms of the Pokemon TCG like gameplay stuff, what do you think people like to watch?
Um, well, I think a lot of it has to do like if someone's gonna sit down and watch a stream, like that kind of content. I think like the person actually streaming has to be entertaining. Like the best streamers, like Azul and Tricky Jim, like they obviously have good personalities behind them. Um, people like the early like checklist before the sets have come out. People like the rogue stuff, I think, because that kind of caters more to the casual player. Um, but there also space for the competitive guides and things like that too.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the audience is mostly casual viewers, at least
Right.
players, at least you'd hope so. Right? I mean, the hope is it's not just the IRL
Yeah,
scene.
I mean, they're more casual players than competitive players, so.
Right, and
Right.
like also like some of the more silly stuff can like blend in both. Like if it's a more like anti-meta deck that like can see IRL success, but also it's more fun based, then you can kind of combine them both. Like that's where I try to be with my content a lot. Is like not necessarily the most like sweaty IRL BDIF kind of material, but if it can have like crossover there, that's kind of the goal.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's kind of what I like. I think some people also something like anti-meta as well. It's kind of weird because oftentimes anti-meta decks are kind of they're weird, but not necessarily in like a cool sense. They're like weird with like unique text that don't necessarily make sense. But then that wouldn't
Yeah,
necessarily make sense to like a casual player,
Hmm.
like
yeah,
Minior or something like that. And Minior coming into a deck like if you're like a new player, you wouldn't be like, I mean, you wouldn't play it, right?
right.
Yeah, you're probably going to struggle with it, but I mean, it's good to struggle. The other thing is if you're mostly online, in live on the battle pass or the rank ladder player, the meta's not the same. So
Or even
anti-meta
casual.
decks don't matter. And even like when I'm playing on the ladder, I just I can cut mana fee and stuff in a deck that would have to have it in a tournament. But honestly, the 10% of the games where it
Well,
matters.
yeah, yeah. If you get beat up by Greninja, you just go next and move
Well,
on.
because it doesn't, most decks don't have it. If I take like a hard loss
Right.
to that 10 for the 50% of the time, I'd rather have the deck slot, especially because I'm trying some sketchy decks. I'm trying my Claydol Ditto deck that like paralysis and
Immunity.
in immunity, and it's just like okay, I you know
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't know. No one knows who you're talking about. But yeah.
you go to the sketchy deck, and I play a lot of sketch. Hey, my biggest video is cast form deck, which that's just a
And you just cut up the losses that you get beat up by the Greninja. It's fine.
yeah. And honestly, look, I'm testing weird decks, so I get up to like the 600 level. I never get too high in the ranking, and honestly, I get to the deck when I refine. I win 50% of the time with a jank deck, and I'm happy with that. So.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. And but for a lot of players, you don't need those techs unless you're going to be serious about it on just playing on live in general.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
like I think the meta in the ladder is, I mean, it changes like a lot. So sometimes you'll just see like one day you'll just see like all one deck, especially if like Andrew Mahone makes a
Yeah, it's kind of
video.
based on whatever someone just uploaded or won
Yeah.
with. Like, I'm sure after the special event this weekend, everyone's gonna be playing Mew again.
Yeah. Um, but also, do you think as a YouTuber, I don't know what you're gonna say to this. How would you compare yourself to like Azul and Andrew Mahone
Like
as a YouTuber?
like a, as a YouTuber,
Yeah.
obviously I would say my quality of content's not as good. Like, Mahone stuff's incredibly well produced, and I mean Azul is he's one of the best players for a reason, I guess. Like I'm nowhere near that quality, and I mean that's fine. That's literally their full time job, so I guess you'd expect them to be good at it, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, hopefully. Um,
Right. Their level of
Yeah.
knowledge and the level of production should be beyond what most of us can do.
Right. Yeah. Like if I had, yeah, if like I could hire someone else to edit my videos for me, like I could probably rival the production quality, but that just doesn't make sense. So it's fine.
yeah.
It's just me over here.
Do you want to like at some point hire people to edit your videos, or do you like editing them yourself?
It's fine, but if I'm successful enough elsewhere that like it makes sense to do that, those hours I could spend editing a video, that would be like doing something else, and obviously to sure.
Yeah, like you don't like. Do you? I mean, I'm assuming you don't like editing as much as you like playing Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
which
also
is
just be like outsourcing my time elsewhere. Like if I could like if it ever becomes to a point where I'm like doing enough like I'm still like in Pokemon with it. Maybe it's like coaching where like I can spend those like 2 hours to take me to edit a video and that's coaching and that's more money than I would have made editing a video, like if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, talking
But
the big Pokemon TCG YouTubers, like probably you have right now. I think Lil Duck Fury might be the biggest channel, not for subs, that's Tricky Jim, but in terms of views and whatnot.
yeah,
And obviously, you have Lil Duck Fury, you got Tricky Jim, you could probably have Azul. They're probably the big three. There's some, you could debate a little bit, but that's kind of the big three. So you got a casual focus in Lil Duck Fury. You've got still fairly casual in Tricky Jim, a little bit more mixed, and then Azul's gets a little more competitive. I would think
yeah,
within his outlook.
yeah.
And
I think Mahone
then
just has like the best production value by far. Like the tabletop doesn't always appeal to like everyone, but like the editing and just the overall production quality, I think it'd be hard to say that someone else does it better.
yeah, in some sense, I think that's because he has the most subscribers, so he probably makes the most money. He is. I don't know if that's actually true, but obviously it correlates
It-
a bunch.
Probably with between his Twitch streams and his videos, yeah, he probably does. Probably does all right.
yeah, and he's an employee of the store, and it's also a promotion for the store. So that's got
Right, yeah,
he's
he's
got a
got
very
sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely it helps out.
yeah. So he's got a little bit of different setup than probably any other Pokemon YouTuber, but financially.
But I guess this is another question. This so on the other side, you said you think your content level is like lower than some of like the bigger YouTube. How would you compare your content level to us?
Well, I think like
Like
obviously I'm doing a lot
honestly,
more
is it?
live streams. Like that's one like something that I guess I'm kind of known for. Like it was kind of weird. Like I went like a while without making a long form video, and then I make a long form video, and people are like, oh, you do like some people had just come in from the streams. They didn't really realize that I did other stuff. So obviously there's more streams. Um, I do a lot with like short form content because I feel like there's like a pretty big gap there. Like none of the big channels do it, so like my shorts may not be the best, highest quality, but I feel like it's like there's not really much competition, so there's not the bar is not super high.
Yeah, I think shorts are. I don't know. There's something that I'm not as interested in because in some sense it's hard to convey the same. I mean, you
Yeah, like
obviously can't
in
do the same.
20 seconds, it's harder to get your point across.
Yeah, but like, yeah, obviously it's something that gets a lot of views potentially. I feel like shorts also you have a less dedicated fan base, but it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shorts are a different
Um.
audience. It's not something that I have interest in watching, so I haven't had interest in making it. But you hit, a lot of people with shorts. What that does for your channel is obviously tricky. And then streaming, like you mentioned, is a big thing. And I think it seems like it's a growing thing with YouTube and focus of channels. One of the things
Yeah.
that hate to see is when people make videos of their streams. Here's like a
Oh yeah. I don't really like that either.
Yeah, I mean it's just like here's a
It's kind of lazy.
yeah, it's just like a stream clip, and it's not like a particularly it's just like a generic stream. It's like I mean obviously there was some value, and there was value in that stream, but this value in the
It's
stream
just
is
kind
just
of weird when like they're like commentating and talking to chat, and it's just like, bruh, like can you? It's yeah, it's just kind of weird as like the viewer watching it after the fact.
yeah, and it's not made for that. But so you stream a lot. Do you so have you streamed on Twitch? I don't know.
I did really early on, like before, like first like few weeks of my channel, but the streams kind of sucked and they're long gone now. But yeah, it's been on YouTube ever since.
Okay, why do you do it on YouTube instead of Twitch?
Well, initially it was just because like when I started streaming again, like the whole audience was there. Like it was like 700 subscribers at the time, so it's just like, well, it just makes sense. Like it was, the initial goal was like use it to help get my channel monetized. So like, why would I go put the effort somewhere else when I can just like put that effort here and help reach a goal, I guess. But then like I built a community here, so just like, well, I don't want to go somewhere else. That was like before multi streaming was a thing too, so it was like, okay, let's just have one audience here.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why like I obviously I have a YouTube channel. I don't have a Twitch channel as I might. Um, if I do, I don't remember. But Yeah, and I have live stream. I just did videos for a while, and I've live streamed a few times, and I do it on YouTube just because, that's where the audience is.
Right.
But so do you like when you're making your videos, do you try to make them like in a similar style to your stream or very differently?
I mean, I just kind of like a same formula that I use for my videos. Like I make the intro, I talk about the list, whatever. Just like try to. I, well, one of my biggest pet peeves with Pokemon YouTube is like when someone just sits there for like 7 minutes talking about their deck. Like I'm gonna skip past that or just click off the video entirely. So I try to keep my intros concise and I go into the gameplay. Like I don't know, I just don't reflect the streams too much. Like I'm still like commentating over the matches and stuff, but um, try to put a lot of effort into the intro though.
Yeah, I think
That's
one
like
thing
the
with the
most important
intros, like
part.
with longer intros, is like some people click off after the intro. Like some people go like search you. So if I'm like I need I don't know, I need some deck. Some people just search YouTube, take the list, but then they might like watch the
Yeah.
intro and then leave. And so then if you have like a
Yes.
longer intro, they'll watch more.
Well, I mean, yeah. I guess that is one school of thought, but
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good
like
thing.
you're trying to get the watch time out of it. Yeah, I don't know because like people who like came for like the deck list and the video, are they really gonna sit there until you get into the games, or they're just gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go find someone else's video where they actually like play Pokemon, or if they skip over that part, then and that hurts your viewer retention, gets your video recommended less, and like that sounds kind of bad.
Yeah, I feel like if you
But
have
yeah, I do get your point though, because I'm kind of responsible for it myself. Like I'll just click on a video, yoink the list, and leave. Like I'm not there for the long haul. I'm just there for the list. I think that's why some people like don't put their list in their intro and like hide it near the end because they they don't like that behavior.
Yeah, I don't think that's great for your channel. I don't know because it doesn't. I don't think it counts. It doesn't count as a view if they just like click on and then click off right away.
I think it would
So
still be a view, just like the average view duration would suck.
yeah, well, I think if it's less than I don't remember how it works. I think if it's less than like I think like they can like click off. I'm not sure, but I think it's not great
You
certainly.
might be right.
Yeah, I mean, the intro thing, I've been kind of pondering that myself. I tend to have long intros. Someone recently said I should cut down, which is, and people make comments, and that's all fine. And there's some legitimacy to it. But like Tim type said, there's some people. There's times when I'm looking for a deck ID. When I get understand a deck, I like the intros, and I might watch a few
Hmm.
intros only. And then the other thing is the audience is more I'm partly beginner focused too. Like 6 months after the
Yeah.
starter decks, I did a whole new series on the starter decks, which then got a bunch of brand new players. So if I'm there's a bunch of newer players on my channel as well, so I want to give more time. How much do I want to talk about the things that people should know? And at times for my channel, I think there's some newer players, so I got to give a little more time. But then it gets boring for other people. I'm always kind of trying to wade through that, sorting through that type of stuff.
The way I try to balance it is like I'll explain the important stuff like on the deck lists, like what the deck's trying to do or important
Mhm.
cards or like what weird cards might be in the deck for.
Yeah.
But if it's like more like core like strategy like gameplay, like you should do this here, like I can mention that like during my opponent's turn or like
Right.
like if it comes up during the game, and then I'm like getting you to watch the games to learn and like I'm getting you to stick around in the video longer to learn more stuff, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I think well, so one thing that we were talking about previously on I think it was 2 weeks ago, we were talking about
Mhm.
Pokemon and like YouTube, and we said I actually don't remember what we said, but I'm pretty sure we said this that Pokemon YouTuber like Pokemon YouTube has like Andrew Hunt's the biggest channel with around 100,000, a little over. Do you have the number?
Uh,
Like 100,
he's got
110K or something.
112,000, I think, a week or
Yeah.
two ago.
Yeah, and then Magic like Magic the Gathering YouTubers have a lot more
The biggest
not
channel is almost 1 million subs.
yeah, and then same thing with
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh's a little smaller, but why is that, do you think?
I just there's just less people who play the like. I mean, I don't really know because I don't like interact with like I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic or anything. So I don't really know. I mean, like, honestly, I think Pokemon content in general, like, still feels kind of under optimized. Like when you look at like other, like it, you could make it a lot more universal of content. I think, like, instead of just like making like a super hyper specific guide about a certain deck, what if you just like I feel like there's like more like storytelling element that could come in and make it more universal. Like maybe like just a more general VIP, like a general Pokemon fan, like want to watch your video, and like I feel like Pokemon content just kind of like stuck in like the whole make deck list video gameplay like post. Like it's fine, like that's what most people want to watch, but I think there's ways that innovation can be done, I guess.
Yeah, how would you innovate? Do you have the answer?
I mean, if I did, I would be a little bigger than I am right now. But I think just like making, like I said, trying to make the content more universal. Like one like really long term goal I want to have is like vlogs for Pokemon tournaments feel like they used to be a thing when I first like started watching content like back in 2015, 2016, but they're like not really a thing anymore. I feel like that could be done better. Um, Even just like going to a League Cup and like vlogging and turning that into a cool personal experience, like that's like something that could appeal to kind of both sides. Um, or like there's a I think like Purple Cliff made a long time ago where he had like chat build his deck, and the video has like hundreds of thousands of views.
Well, yeah, but that's because
So
he's Purple
like
Cliff.
yeah, but also you could do the same thing, just like have chat build your deck, and like I mean, yeah, you're right to an extent. People watch his video because of who he is, but like also if it's like entertaining enough of a topic, people will watch. Like if it didn't if it didn't resonate with his viewers, they wouldn't watch it, right? Like they wouldn't stick around, so the video wouldn't get recommended more. And if it doesn't spread, then it's not going to get a lot of views, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely like it's an interesting concept. Oh, I want to go back to the vlog thing. Or I think I feel like those videos are kind of old school. Like in YouTube, like people don't make vlogs in general. Like that was a bigger thing in
No,
2015.
yeah,
Like
I'm not necessarily just like talking about like it would there'd be a pretty high like editing barrier. Like it wouldn't just be like I'm recording like okay at this round I won, after round two I record like what happened. Like it'd be like there'd have to be a pretty large amount of editing to make it entertaining and to like try to tell a story through whatever that particular journey you were making. I guess like whether you're traveling to a different state, like flying, whatever. Like just making that entertaining. Like it wouldn't just be like here I am at a tournament. Here's what happened.
yeah, um,
Yeah, I mean, part of what Pokemon, beyond the TCG, is obviously a very big universe, and even the TCG is mostly collectors. It's huge, right? The TCG gameplay is pretty almost niche within it, but compared to
Yeah.
the other TCGs, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know if their base is that much bigger, but they're somehow much bigger on YouTube. But Pokemon, we need to tap into the bigger Pokemon base to grow things, right? And that's part of the trick. I think that how can that happen?
Well, I think like if you look at like Celio's network channel and like for a while I felt like his content was like kind of boring. But then he started making those like really cool like Pokemon history videos, and that like appeals to like the competitive people who like played back then, but also like kind of the more casual people or just people who like Pokemon in general might be like more
Mhm.
interested in like the history of the game. So I feel like more videos like that probably um, could do well too.
yeah, I've definitely tried to make a few videos. Like, have you made any like
It's like something
history?
I want to do eventually, but like also I feel like it has to be like well edited to like really hit right, and I don't necessarily have time to do that right now.
Yeah, yeah, I've tried to do some edited like. So I've been trying to do some more edited content because I don't really edit my videos much.
Yeah,
I kind of prepare before, but then I just kind of like do a game, or I would like I have honestly like a slideshow type thing, and I like go through that, and it has like the things, and it gets the job done. But it's obviously nothing. I mean there's a reason that I'm a small channel, but I'm almost at 1,000 subscribed. Yeah.
Let's go.
And subscribe to all of us, especially all of us. But anyway, yeah, so I think I've tried to do some more of that like edit style content. It's obviously a lot of work. And it's like the first times I did it, I've only done it a few times, and it's not turning out great, but I'm learning some stuff. Um, it's fun. It keeps like messing up my computer as well. But yeah.
And then 10 times and I were talking, there was the history video recently on Bert's PTCG, which was like 4 hours long. So the concept
Yeah.
is for the top best and worst card from every expansion from the base set, which is nice. I love 4 hours.
Base it on.
Base it on, sorry. I think 4 hours is need some editing,
Yeah.
maybe breaking it up or something there, but it's a good idea at one sense.
Yeah. Have you seen that video?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was maybe it was like a week ago.
I don't
Um,
really watch his stuff, so it's like not on my recommended.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I mean, he does similar stuff to Steelers, I think, in that like history style video and or the like documentary almost type thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's similar.
I think it might be, yeah, but Celios probably is much more concise. So
Well, I think the first PCG, I don't know why this one was like 4 hours long. That seemed too long.
Yeah.
But Alloutblitzle, do you have any YouTubers that like aren't Pokemon TCG YouTubers that you would wanna like you think would be what you want to be, but for the Pokemon TCG, if that makes sense?
Um, I mean, like one channel that I feel like the kind of general concept would be like really cool. Like I don't know if you've watched any of their videos, but it's Deep Pocket Monster. It's like a Pokemon opening channel, but they do like a really good job of like making it more than just opening the packs, right?
Okay,
And like
I
that's
haven't
just
watched
like
any
kind
opening
of the goal
videos,
with my channel, and
but
it's
yeah.
just kind of like I mean, just use Pokemon cards as like a vehicle to tell a story. I guess would be like eventually what I want to get to.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, because if it's just about the Pokemon cards and playing the game, obviously it's fun and it's cool and we all like that, but not everyone likes
Yeah.
that, and so if you see a
Yeah, just the ceiling is kind of limited.
yeah, and I think there needs to be like as you said some like storytelling. I think one thing
Mhm.
I've talked about this. I don't know if I've talked about this too much on the podcast and stuff, but like I think collaborative content is good, but it's also kind of hard to do. Sometimes it's like annoying, especially if it's in like really different time zones. It's annoying, but it's like fun as well. But it's a lot of setup, and it doesn't always pay off, and it's kind of, but it can be really
Yeah.
fun. I think it can create that storytelling and that interesting
mhm.
aspect.
Yeah, and I
I kind
think
of wonder why there isn't more collaborations. Like I know like Celio and Little Dark Fury had like that like random like duck wheel thing that they did for like 2 episodes.
Yeah, it wasn't like a
Did
yeah. I think I saw that, and it was funny. I think there was a little like Fury, Tricky Gym one, or like 3 videos.
yeah, I
okay, they
forget.
had, like
Yeah,
a GLC conquest video or something, right?
Yeah, I think yeah. Was that? I think it might have been 3 video. I don't remember. I didn't watch it, but um,
I think that Omnipoke competitive thing with the top
Oh
YouTubers kind of
yeah.
set things back a lot.
yeah. Do you know the
Oh yeah, that
OPOP?
like dragged on way too long. That
Well,
was
it
not
didn't,
good.
but it dragged on, and it was just it was like, do you want to watch standard match? Like, do you want to watch? I think it was like tag teamer. So it was like, do you want to watch ADP versus PKROM for like 20
Yeah.
hours every week?
Yeah.
And that didn't work.
And it took these top YouTubers, and then those videos were like their lowest viewed videos, so that it just disintegrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Purple Clip was on, and then he stopped doing Pokemon content or Pokemon TCG content.
Dang.
But so, and then, are there any YouTube channels that are like Pokemon TCG player YouTube channels that you think are like up and coming and underrated, other than
Um, I
us?
I know James Cox. I think his channel's like James CTCG. His videos are really good. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, he's decent. I know him from the Dan TDM video. I didn't know he was
yeah.
on that.
Like aside from that, I mean, not. I like Kieran. TCG has some good guide videos. Like they're not very well edited. They're definitely not the most like entertaining videos, but they're probably some of the best informative content that you could get if you're just like trying to play Pokemon better. Which is like mainly what I consume, right? I don't like watch a whole lot of like the LDF like meme content. There's nothing wrong with that if you do like that stuff, but like I'm more like if I'm gonna watch a video, I like want to sit down and um learn how to play Pokemon better because that's like kind of what I do.
Yeah. How much
Um,
do you learn? Like, because I don't know. I consider you a very good player. Um, how much do you learn from those videos? Like, do you learn? I guess I'm saying, do you think like you can, someone can like teach you even if they aren't as good of a player as you?
Absolutely. Like um I know like Azul has brought this up before. Like if like like someone can be better at a deck or a strategy than you are, so um like I don't necessarily know how to play Gardevoir the best, right? But I could like listen to someone talk through like the basics of Gardevoir sequencing of Gardevoir or whatever, and they could help me learn how to play it better, right? Even if they're not necessarily like a better player than I am, like they know that they could know their deck better than I would.
Okay, but they
Like
need to
I would
know
like
like,
they wouldn't be like able to tell me how to like sequence like general Pokemon sequencing better maybe, but they could tell me the ins and outs of their deck better.
okay, okay.
Okay. I, a different point. It seemed to me that during COVID, when IRL play stopped, that some of the channels I thought were more interesting. There was just more diversity in what was going on. And when IRL play returned, a lot of the bigger channels then just went back to here's the top, 6 decks for this
Yeah,
week's tournament, and that's all we're going to deal with.
yeah.
And I think like over COVID. So I think wait, oh, Whistle, did you create your channel like over COVID or after it?
I think like the official like date created is like July 2020, but I didn't make there was nothing on it
Yeah,
until
that's when you
January of
comment the first time, I think.
2022.
But so when was your first video?
It was like January 15th, 20 or like 2023, like last year, January 15th.
Okay, so it was like after COVID. Let's start by
Oh yeah.
after. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but so Uncle Fossil and I both created um a channel like over COVID, and that I don't know, and I think there are a lot of people doing that, and then a lot of people after it, but it almost feels like it slowed down, or maybe they were just imagining that.
I think like people had a lot of extra spare time over COVID, so like you could spend more time making better content, or you could just spend time making like content, and now maybe those people moved on to doing other things. Not that the world isn't stuck anymore.
Yeah, yeah, people are too productive now. That's the problem.
That's right. You basically you didn't have many options besides sitting there at your computer and playing a TCG. So now we can go
Right.
outside and do all sorts of stuff. So
You going outside
Yeah, we used to
just
do
to have
Pokemon TCG Live, but we touch grass.
I don't know what
Bring-
grass is. I'm sorry. I sit in front of my door and play Pokemon.
Yeah.
one of the ideas that I like that you brought up was the idea of storytelling, or I guess maybe I can see it connecting with the Pokemon lore, with that as a way to make the TCG reach a new audience. Now it's a lot of work to do,
What
but
do you mean connect with the
well,
lore?
the Pokemon and what they do, the history, things that collectors or even video game focused people would relate to the TCG gameplay, right? And mechanics and stuff like that. I think there's a way to start to dive into that.
What do you mean?
Well, what Pokemon have done in the history, both in part of
Of the TCG or both combined?
both the TCG and the video game, and also what the video game to the TCG, and also what the images in the card is and how it relates to what they do. Because probably for a lot of people, what the card looks like is for them the biggest thing that they know and care about, right? If you start to can make that in a meaningful way, not in just in a
Oh yeah, I need to make my Sharpedo from Evolving Skies is the greatest Pokemon of all time video. Uh, that's
Oh,
coming soon, hopefully.
bros clickbaiting.
No, it's insane. It's awesome. I need to make it. It's gonna be hype.
Bro, some of your clickbait drives me crazy. Like
Which
your
which
greatest
part?
ability ever is back. Like, bruh. I'm gonna click on that video and
Oh,
see what
don't you well, click on my new video.
the card does. I'm gonna dislike your video and leave.
No, but my new video is not clickbait. It's Bersian and Blue Pants Man. Like that's not clickbait. No.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like, and I kind of like, I obviously like Pokemon a lot, but I also like YouTube, and I like YouTube's kind of, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's kind of superficial. Right? It's kind of like, um, if you run into me in like real life, I'm not exactly like this. I'm kind of like this, but it's weird. It's different. I'm much quieter in real life, and I like that like YouTube gives you a voice, and then you can get to like do silly stuff that you can't do in person. So yeah, Resident Blue Pants Man.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube lets you take on a persona to a certain extent. Hopefully, it should be tied in real life. Although, yes, I think Ten Types does do more clickbait to me, and he's of the viewpoint that content creator has to everything you say and do has to be the greatest thing ever.
I mean, no, everything I have to say and do
Nah,
is
that's
great.
just not true. But
Whereas I try to stick away from the clickbait. So I do occasionally will say, hey, this is the best deck according to Limitless. But the facts pointed out, like when, what was it, Arceus with Raichu, which had like an 80% win rate. I said, hey, this is the best win rate on PlayLimitless.com.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between making an engaging title and thumbnail and then just like lying just to like get someone to click on your video.
No, I don't just lie. I don't just lie. I say.
Bro, you said that new card was the best abilities back. Like you can't.
Wait,
tell
which
me
card?
that's the
I don't remember what my thumbnails are. I just like make them.
Maybe that's the problem.
Wait, which one? Wait, which thumbnail was this? I don't remember that.
I gotta find it. Hold up. It was like one of your It was like one of your recent ones.
My
forget
most recent one was like
you had like the old like Dragonite on the
Oh no, it's the theme deck. It's the best theme card. So it's not standard. It's themed.
Well, you don't say that.
Well, I mean, I just because everyone plays like themed all the time on Pokemon TCG Live. So I just assume they're thinking about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, no, it's Dragonite was
No,
was
your video is the Dragonite. It's like an arrow with the Dragonite pointing to the Infernape and says Pokemon is reprinting one of the greatest cards of all time.
Well, it is Dragonite. Dragonite was literally the best deck in format as well. So
for people that play a lot of themed,
I mean, the video got a decent amount of views. I just like, am I gonna click on your video again if like you just have that on there that's just blatantly not true?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I like yeah, I do just like make them, and then I make the video, and then I make the thumbnail. Like I don't usually think of the thumbnail like when I'm making the video, and I just feel like, oh, what I'm thinking, I'm in video mode, I'm making the video. Then when I'm in thumbnail mode, I'm like, okay, I need to make something bold, and then I do it with arrows and exclamation points.
That's right. How many?
Like I may not always make my video thumbnail before I actually like make the piece of like make the content, but at least like try to like make it so like my intro is tied in with that. It's not just like something totally random clickbait to try to get you to click on the video. Like at least if I thumbnail and intro and title all work together, then you're gonna hopefully stick around, right?
Yeah. No, I try to be good about it, but it's not on the top of my priorities list.
I will say some of my videos are kind of thumbnails are a little exaggerated. Like, I don't know. It's YouTube though.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely exaggerate myself.
You can't just have Charizard is the best deck with a picture of Charizard EX on it like that. This doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't do that. I don't put my face in. Well, no, the reason I need to do it because I don't like do a little deck period. I don't put my face in every thumbnail. So
that is pretty lame. Like I know he gets the clicks, but it's really lame.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll graduate
open my mouth super wide and put a random card next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's Little Dark Fury's got his thing. So I'd be sad if he stopped that. It's kind of it's just an amusing thing at this point.
Right, so on Compulse, you have some statistics as well. Do you want to talk about? I feel like you wanted to talk about
No,
them. You have like stacks of paper.
well, I don't. I just in case I need them. I wasn't going to pull it out now. I mean, it's just because one of the things with 10 types is growing YouTube. How big can Pokemon TCG be? And I don't think it's ever going to be YouTube big. And that's kind of what he wants it to be, is like top 100 channels. I'm not
Well,
sure it's
not
that.
top, maybe not top 100, but like I don't know. I feel like I feel like there is definitely an opportunity for a Pokemon TCG YouTuber, like a not a collector, to um have over 1 million subscribers, and no one's close to that right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, right now, I'd say Magic the Gathering channels are about 5 times bigger than the big Pokemon channels. Yu-Gi-Oh seemed about 4 times bigger. It's all very relative, it's imprecise. But then there's Magic Arena, the online client, and also Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duels, their online client. There's channels only on the online gameplay that are as big as the biggest Pokemon as people, as big as Tricky Jim, as big as Little Dark Fury. So there's a lot of room, I think, for Pokemon to be bigger, even
Also,
primarily
like
sticking
how
to a
many more
TCG
people play
focus.
Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic than Pokemon?
Yeah, what do you say?
How many more people play Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh than Pokemon? Like
I get,
what are the sides of each player
I mean, I
base?
think it's bigger, but I mean more people have Pokemon cards than
Right,
um
yeah, like the overall Pokemon IP might be bigger than the Magic, but like if you niche it down that much.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of different. I feel like there is the potential. Obviously, people are like, I think some sense it could be like that people could make better videos, and that would actually get more people into the game as well. So,
I feel like the whole like deck profile, like the barrier to entry that is really low, right? Like as long as you have a microphone and you use PTCG Live, you can make one of those videos, right? Like a lot of my like even like some like the things that I say in some of my earlier videos about like what cards do, like how things interact with the meta, like those things weren't true at all. Like the information in there sucks. But I mean, it got I had a microphone and PTCGL, so like I could make videos, right? So I think like in order for Pokemon to get bigger, there has to be like channels that's willing to do more than just like the bare minimum, I guess.
yeah, I don't think you actually need to be that good at the game to like make good content. I think it can be a pretty,
I think it helps.
yeah. I mean, in the sense of wanting to make informative content, it is
Oh yeah,
kind
that it
of
doesn't
like
do
required.
anything,
But
but
if you just want to make something that entertains someone, you can be bad. Like, so okay, I don't know if you can, but in so I've watched some Bloons Tower Defense content. There are some the top VCD content creators are like really bad. Like I don't play very much, and I'm definitely better than them. Like, but they're like interesting, and so they get like views, and I think that's obviously being good can help. And you can get a big channel because you're good. If with someone like Azul, right, he's has a big channel because he's good, but then someone like I don't know. I think most of the Pokemon channels
but
are
also Azul has a pretty good personality too. That if you weren't good at Pokemon, like I think he'd still be able to have an audience that's there.
yeah, but I don't think it would be as big. I mean, he's very good as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's a
He
top
wouldn't
player.
be able to meta manipulate with his tier list, but
Yeah, I mean maybe that's
yeah.
why he's good because oh no you're I got the thumbnail title Alloutblitzle accuses Azul
Bruh.
GG of manipulation. We got
I
it.
think whether he likes it or not, he is responsible of
No,
it,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
can
and
use
he
it for
like you
good or evil. But
yeah. Andrew Holmes why like
I don't think he
the
uses it
game I play in Mail.
maliciously. But I
No,
mean,
yeah.
he like literally one of the decks that he posted on his channel got second at a regional. So whether he likes it or not, he does meta manipulate.
Like the 60 or like the
Yeah, literally D60. The
oh
person used the exact same arts and everything. Got
you know.
second to Charlotte.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know, but I mean he also is like good. I feel like you can't just I feel like that's not exactly the same as meta manipulating. I feel like that's giving actual like advice. Like meta manipulation is usually telling people to play like bad decks, not like. Anyway, that's not really the
I mean,
point.
I think
But
there's at least one podcast where I think They said, "Oh, here's the 3 decks to bring," and then they, in their group, brought a deck that counted those 3 decks.
You don't have to out us
and
like
did
that.
well.
That's not cool.
So maybe they may have changed last minute, blah blah blah, as they thought through the meta, but
That's not a great look.
no, it wasn't. So I'm not going to name names because there's no reason to do that. But I think you don't. I mean, being a really good player is obviously one thing. I think you can be, or in personality, you can also have. You need to bring something good. I think at this point, I've gotten to be a decent deck builder. In some ways, I'm building all these decks. I'm probably a better deck builder maybe than a better player right now. So, but I can bring that to the table. You can, I do a bunch of stuff on starter decks at times. You could be new player focused and bring, you need to bring something to something that not everyone else is doing is part of it.
And that's, you have to have some sort of value to your content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have one last question. This is about your channel. And this is, I don't know how you're going to answer this, but how big, like in terms of subscribers, or I guess we could answer in terms of you, how big do you think your channel will get? What's your goal and what do you think?
I mean, I don't really have a goal. Like, I guess my goal is Pokemon full time, and that's not necessarily number of subscribers, I guess. It'd be like the content would probably just be like kind of like marketing for the rest of, I guess, my brand. I guess would be the way to put it. Like, whether it be like merch, like memberships, articles, coaching, like there'd be a lot more to it than just YouTube.
Yeah, okay. So you want to be the whole package, which I guess, and that's pretty common as well. Like a lot of the YouTubers are also like coaches who are also players and that kind of like, and also like Twitch as well. And I think they have a lot of like things going on. And then that's kind of interesting. I feel like that's kind of, you are kind of splitting your time up, but also it like gets you success
If
in
you're just
many
like
different ways.
if like you're just someone making YouTube videos in your spare time, then you're working like your 9 to 5. So like it's not really too much different. Like you're just spending your working hours doing Pokemon related stuff rather than sitting at your desk.
Yeah, but like you could be spending like 8 to 10 hours on YouTube videos a day if you're full time, or you could be spending like 3 hours on YouTube videos
I
a
think
day and
if
then
you
3
get
hours
to
on
that point,
coaching.
you're probably hiring an editor to edit your videos, so then you can use that time elsewhere.
Yeah, but like
do
you
other
can
stuff.
just work more on, like you could just, even if you could just record and like come up with ideas all
Yeah.
day. Like obviously there are people who just do YouTube and don't do other things.
I mean, Azul's probably seems like the poster person for what you're talking about. I think I could make a graph between how well he's done in events and how many videos he's uploaded in a week because they seem to work exactly opposite of each other. So there's a certain balance that's a tricky thing.
He just won San Antonio and he's uploading daily and streaming daily.
Yeah, I think
like,
it changed.
Earlier, like last year, though, he was really. It wasn't until he kind of stopped. He would stop. He was stopping to do videos for a week or two before the tournaments, which he was doing well in. I guess maybe that was true a year ago. I think.
Yeah, I think
I don't think those things have to be opposites though, because like what I just said, like if you're not making if like most people can't just afford to like go to all the events, like or just like people have to work to get money, right? And like I mean, he just happens to work like his work is Pokemon.
Yeah. But I think he like in terms of you need to like spend time to get better at Pokemon. Then you also need to spend time to get better at to like make YouTube videos, obviously. And so I think they're not when you're making a YouTube video, you're not preparing for an event. So you need to I don't know, you don't he probably has more time now as well, I predict.
He might. I mean, he's obviously a tremendous player. He obviously makes very good content. He does all the different social media things, I think, right? He does the Twitch streaming. He probably does, the Twitter X and all. He checks all the boxes, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, how much does he make? I don't think he's rolling in dough either.
Well, I maybe from YouTube, but he's got sponsors. Like
Right.
I don't know how much he charges for coaching on his Metafy page, but like it's not cheap. And if he's doing that for coaching for several hours a day, then you can certainly pay the bills through Pokemon.
Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, the question is the different. between is he paying the bills now, or is he able to kind of build up some money? Because eventually Pokemon's going to stop, whatever it is. And 10 years from now, he's done with Pokemon, and he got by with Pokemon. You don't want to be in that
But
spot either.
do you ever have to be done with Pokemon?
You don't have to be done with
It's
Pokemon.
not like in
but
sports where
Pokemon will be done with you.
eventually you.
Yeah.
I think you don't have to be, but you like, I think you're
It's
gonna.
not like you eventually get too old to play Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, also you're not too old for Pokemon.
My age makes it harder.
Azul charges 75 an hour for coaching.
75.
So that's
It's all good. It's all good. I bet. Yeah. No, I feel like that's all.
like you want to get good. It's the fastest way.
I get. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the best player doesn't necessarily make the best coach, right? I'm sure there's probably better coaches, especially depending what you're looking for, that you can probably get for a lot
But
less.
he's probably a good coach because he's a good
Tor
player.
charges
He's a
100 an
YouTuber.
hour, so it's like Azul as a budget option.
Yeah, I feel like I'll coach you I'll coach anyone for $10 an hour. I can coach you. See, I saw a YouTube video where someone hired coaches. I think it was a Smash Bros. Play, but they hired coaches, and there was a coach that said, "You can pay me to make you worse at the game, so I'll do that. If you pay me, I can make you worse at Pokemon TCG.
What?
I'm sure I'll make a lot of money from that."
I mean, the Pokemon TCG, the IRL scene's obviously growing huge, and that's a really good thing. The one concern is if it keeps growing, is it going to have to become a lottery system like Japan? That may become an issue to deal with some other day.
Yeah, I guess that's not.
If we're gonna jump into the whole the events are getting too big argument, let's just have a regional every weekend and bleed everyone's wallets dry.
Yeah. I don't think they're scared of that.
I think we can fix it. It's fine.
Yeah, they'll be
that's not today's pod. Yeah, there's a lot of things with IRL play to kind of sort out, but that's not the issue here. So,
but I think that's all for. Is there anything else you have to add to the podcast for today?
Future Box sucks.
Nah, Future Box. No, okay. Future Box with Iron Hands it's okay. I think just like the Iron Hands.
It is Iron Hands dot deck. It's not really Future Box.
No, it's not really Future Box, but no, Future Box.
No, the whole Iron Leaves, Future Box, like EXP share, all that deck's bad.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't necessarily work. As I say, it doesn't work well. It doesn't work all the time or most of the time. So yeah. But I don't have any videos for post rotation yet. I need to think of some decks.
Oh man, that's a throw.
Yeah. Last time I just did a bunch of Palafin videos and they popped off. So.
Yeah, one of my most viewed videos is a Chi Yu deck, and if people pull that ultra rare and they're like, oh, I wonder how you build this new good deck. I was the only person who made a Chi Yu video,
and it beats every deck.
And got all those views. True.
Yeah, I mean, getting something that's unique is a big deal, and just hitting the right thing at the right time. You never know. So, I just figured
that's why shorts are broken, because you just can be the only person and it ranks on search.
Yeah, that's true. But who's out here searching for YouTube short? Don't they just
I literally have a short that's dumb and sucks that has 14K views.
Yeah, I feel but also a short view, one short view is, or 10 short views are equal to I don't know.
Okay, I mean that's still 1.4K if you want to play that game.
Yeah,
which is more than.
No, it is cool. I think you need in order to get monetized, you either need 4,000 watch hours, which I'm I'm at that, and then or you need it's 10 million shorts views or something. So. But anyway, no. Shorts are they get views, and they're you can they're something that the market hasn't been tapped into that much.
Yeah, and you're doing both, so
all three.
Yeah, all three, and streaming too. So, and obviously doing them all is a good thing. You can figure out what works for you, and with connecting. Post rotation, I figure we're just all going to play Snorlax Stall, but
Heck yeah.
that's just my opinion. So
Seems good.
But anyway, I think that's all for today's podcast. All my voice. All of Blitzel. Anything you wanna say before we head out?
Any
here?
shout outs?
Shout out Alloutblitzle on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, join the Discord.
Yeah, that'll be linked down. Actually, no, probably just your channel. But yeah, and
I'm
then
just kidding.
yeah, subscribe to our channels, Uncommon Fossil, 10 Types.
Yeah.
Also, like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, all that good stuff.
Yes, join
And
the
we're excited to
Discord.
see you in the next podcast episode.
All right, take care.
Bye.